lab-grown chicken.
A lab-grown chicken nuggets.
Chicken grown in a lab.
U.S. regulators have approved the sale of chicken made from animal cells.
There's an old piece of advice that you should only eat food that your grandparents would recognize.
Cancer is a complex disease with various types and causes. While we don't have all the answers, we do know that several factors, including our diet and the foods we eat, can contribute to cancer development. Research has identified certain foods that are linked to an increased risk of specific types of cancer, and in this video, we'll explore those foods. With all these in mind, let's dig into these 15 cancer-causing foods that have been proven to kill you. Processed meats.
This new report released today by the World Health Organization found that often beloved meats like sausage, bacon, ham, and hot dogs can cause certain types of cancer.
Processed meat is any type of meat that has been preserved by smoking, salting, curing, or canning. And most of the processed meats are red meat. Some examples of these processed meats include hot dogs, salami, sausage, ham, corned beef, and beef jerky. Now, the major problem with these meats lies in the method used in making them. Processed meats can create carcinogens. According to a 2018 article, curing meat with nitrite can form carcinogens called N-nitroso compounds. On the other hand, smoking meat can also lead to carcinogenic polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. According to a 2019 study, processed meat is a major risk factor for colorectal cancer, and a different study found that it is linked with stomach cancer. Another study also revealed that high consumption of processed meat was associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. Fried foods. When starchy foods are cooked at high temperatures, a compound called acrylamide is formed. This can happen during frying, baking, roasting, and toasting. According to a 2020 study, acrylamide damages DNA and induces apoptosis or cell death. Eating a lot of fried food also increases your risk of type 2 diabetes and obesity. These conditions can promote oxidative stress and inflammation, further increasing your cancer risk. Overcooked foods.
Now, scientists are warning that overcooked foods, including potatoes, toast, crisps and waffles, could increase the risk of developing cancer.
Overcooking food, especially red meats, can produce carcinogens. In an article published in 2020, it was revealed that cooking meat with high heat creates carcinogenic PAHs and heterocyclic amines. These substances may increase the risk of cancer by altering the DNA of your cells. The Food and Drug Administration also states that overcooking starchy foods like potatoes increase acrylamide formation. To reduce your risk of carcinogens from high-heating cooking, try using healthier cooking methods such as poaching, pressure cooking, baking or roasting at lower temperatures, and slow cooking in a crock pot or slow cooker. Dairy. There's evidence that dairy foods such as milk, cheese, and yogurt may increase the risk of prostate cancer. Eating these foods increases levels of an insulin-like growth factor 1, which is associated with a higher risk of prostate cancer. It may also increase the proliferation or production of prostate cancer cells. Soda.
Major headline about your health tonight with a question mark for anyone who drinks sodas with that caramel color, a chemical that in some cases has been linked to cancer in mice.
A study conducted in Sweden revealed that men who consumed one 11-ounce soda on a daily basis had a 40% higher likelihood of developing prostate cancer. Additionally, a comprehensive analysis conducted by Johns Hopkins University in Maryland, along with insights from U.S. Consumer Reports, identified an association between a chemical called 4-methylimidazole and an elevated risk of cancer. 4-methylimidazole is a substance responsible for providing certain sodas with their characteristic caramel color. Alcohol.
So alcohol is a known carcinogen, which just means it can cause cancer. And there's lots of good studies that show that it can cause liver cancer, it can increase the risk for breast cancer, mouth, oral, throat, and also bowel cancer.
When you drink alcohol, your liver processes it and converts it into a harmful compound called acetaldehyde, which is known to be a carcinogenic. Acetaldehyde can cause DNA damage and oxidative stress within the body. Additionally, it can negatively impact your immune function, making it harder for your body to identify and eliminate precancerous and cancerous cells. Research from 2015 also showed that alcohol consumption can lead to increased estrogen levels in women. This has been concerning because higher levels of estrogen have been linked to a greater risk of estrogen receptor-positive breast cancer, a type of breast cancer that is influenced by the presence of estrogen. To minimize these risks, it is advisable to limit alcohol consumption. Canned tomatoes. Food cans are often coated with a chemical called bisphenol A, which has been associated with cancer and other significant health issues. When it comes to canned tomatoes specifically, they pose a higher risk of leaching BPA from the can into the food. This is because tomatoes are acidic, which increases the likelihood of BPA contamination. To minimize exposure to BPA, it is advisable to stick to fresh tomatoes instead of canned ones. By choosing fresh tomatoes, you can avoid the potential transfer of BPA from the can lining into your food. This simple switch can help to reduce your overall exposure to BPA and potentially lower the associated health risks. Refined sugar. Back in 1931, significant research revealed an intriguing connection between sugar and tumor growth. The study found that sugar functions as a source of fuel for tumors, providing them with the energy they need to grow and increase in size. This discovery suggests that the presence of sugar in our bodies could potentially support the development and progression of cancer. Not only does sugar have the potential to fuel tumor growth, but it can also wreak havoc on our metabolism. Processed sugars, in particular, can have detrimental effects on our body's metabolic processes. They can lead to imbalances in blood sugar levels, promote inflammation, and contribute to weight gain or obesity, all of which are factors that may increase the risk of cancer. Mass-processed breads. Potassium bromate is a common food additive that's often used to improve the elasticity of bread dough, making it easier to work with and resulting in fluffier baked goods. However, it's important to be aware of its potential health risks. Numerous health organizations have identified potassium bromate as a possible carcinogen, meaning it could have the potential to cause cancer. As a result, several countries, including the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Brazil, have banned its use in food production. These nations have taken this precautionary step to protect public health. In the United States, while potassium bromate is still permitted for use in food, the state of California has implemented specific regulations to ensure consumer safety. California requires that any product containing potassium bromate must have a warning label. It's worth noting that in ingredients lists, potassium bromate may also be listed as bromated flour. Artificial colors.
Second big concern is with one of the artificial flavorings called diacetyl. It's an artificial butter flavoring that's been linked to serious lung disease, popcorn lung, especially in people who get exposed to a lot of it.
According to a report published in 2010 by the Center for Science in the Public Interest, titled Food Dyes, A Rainbow of Risks, there are concerns regarding the safety of 9 artificial dyes approved by the FDA in the United States. The report suggests that these dyes may have potential links to cancer, behavioral problems, and inadequate testing. Microwaved popcorn.
In recent years, there have been a number of emerging concerns about microwave popcorn, prepackaged microwave popcorn. One of them is the bag itself. It contains a nonstick lining that can drive PFOA into the popcorn that we eat.
Certain microwave popcorn bags have an inner lining that contains a chemical. When heated, this chemical breaks down and forms a substance called perfluorooctanoic acid. Unfortunately, this substance has been associated with a higher risk of developing cancers such as liver and prostate cancer, among others. In addition to the concerns surrounding perfluorooctanoic acid, there is another chemical found in artificial butter flavoring called diacetyl, which has been linked to potential lung damage when inhaled. To avoid these potential health risks, a simple solution is to make your own microwave popcorn. All you need is a brown paper bag and some coconut oil. This way, you have better control over the ingredients and can enjoy your popcorn without worrying about harmful chemicals. Hydrogenated oils. Not only are hydrogenated oils harmful to your heart, but they can also lead to inflammation and damage to your cells, which has been associated with an increased risk of cancer and other illnesses. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration took action in January of 2015 by implementing a ban on partially hydrogenated oils. This regulation gave food manufacturers a 3-year period to eliminate these oils from their products. This step was taken to protect consumers' health and reduce the presence of these harmful oils in the food supply. Farmed salmon. Salmon that is raised on farms has a higher chance of being contaminated with carcinogens, which are substances that cause cancer. The Environmental Working Group has conducted research on this matter and found that farmed salmon can contain 16 times the amount of polychlorinated biphenyls compared to wild salmon. Polycarbonated biphenyls are harmful chemicals that were once widely used in electrical equipment, but their production has been banned due to their adverse effect on human health and the environment. Unfortunately, farmed salmon may accumulate these harmful chemicals through their feed and the environment in which they are raised. Choosing wild-caught salmon over farm-raised salmon can help reduce your exposure to potential carcinogens and ensure a healthier seafood choice for you and your family. Pasta. Carbohydrate-rich foods like pasta and bagels, which are often referred to as white carbohydrates, have a high glycemic index. This means they can cause a quicker rise in blood sugar levels after consumption. A recent study discovered an interesting connection. Individuals who consume diets with a high glycemic index had a 49% higher risk of being diagnosed with lung cancer. To mitigate the glycemic impact of pasta, it is recommended to incorporate healthy fats such as olive oil and protein into the meal. This combination helps lower the overall glycemic index of the entire meal. Genetically modified organisms. Research suggests a possible link between genetically modified organisms and the chemicals used in their cultivation to the formation of cancerous tumors. Multiple studies have explored this association and found indications of a potential connection. The concern revolves around the use of certain chemicals, such as pesticides and herbicides, in the cultivation of GMO crops. These chemicals are often applied to crops to control pests or weeds, and when these crops are consumed by people, it increases their risk of developing cancer. Certified organic foods is a better option.